Beyond the Lacanian mirror. Rethinking metonymy, metaphor, and capitalist capture through Deleuze. Language, in its meaning and expression, harbors a multitude of cognitive processes. Two prominent cognitive models are metonymy and metaphor, figures of speech that shape our understanding of the world and ourselves. One is left to wonder how these cognitive forms operate under the influence of capitalism, questioning traditional interpretations, and ultimately proposing a nuanced understanding of their vulnerability to extractive capture. Metonymy. The Lacanian real and the Deleuzian surplus. Metonymy, often described as the mentioning one thing to mean another closely associated with it, has been traditionally linked to the Lacanian real, the ungraspable, traumatic truth that forever eludes our symbolic grasp. Lacan's mirror stage, where the infant identifies with its reflected image, exemplifies metonymic substitution. The image represents the subject, but the real self remains elusive. This reading aligns with the idea of metonymy as a process of continuous deferral, where meaning is never fully achieved, always pointing to something else. However, a Deleuzian perspective offers a different interpretation. Deleuze, in his work with Guattari, sees the surplus generated by metonymic substitution not as a lack or absence, but as a productive potential. This surplus represents the creative excess that arises from the endless play of signifiers, defying rigid structures and classifications. It is a force for becoming, for escaping the fixed identities imposed by symbolic order. Capitalist capture and the metonymic slippage. Despite its potential for liberation, metonymy's surplus remains vulnerable to capture by capitalist forces. The relentless commodification of everything, including language itself, seeks to fix and commodify this creative surplus. Brands exploit metonymic associations to attach desires and emotions to products, turning the surplus into a tool for manipulation. Consider advertising, where a luxurious car is associated with freedom or a specific perfume evokes sophistication. These metonymic connections create a surplus of meaning, but this meaning is ultimately captured and channeled toward specific consumer desires, serving capitalist extractive agendas. Metaphor. Deleuzian lines of flight and the conjunctive potential. Metaphor, on the other hand, has been viewed as a process of creating new connections between seemingly disparate entities. It goes beyond mere substitution, forging a new synthesis between terms. Traditionally, this has been seen as a more positive figure, overcoming the limitations of metonymy and offering a more imaginative understanding of the world. Deleuze, however, challenges this binary opposition. He sees both metonymy and metaphor as forms of deterritorialization, breaking down established structures and creating new lines of flight. Metaphor, in particular, opens up new possibilities for connection and becoming, allowing us to see the world in unexpected ways. Capitalist capture and the metaphoric trap. Despite its seemingly liberatory potential, metaphor too is not immune to capitalist capture. The very act of creating new connections can be used to reinforce existing power structures. Consider political slogans that use evocative metaphors to manipulate public opinion or advertising campaigns that employ seemingly innovative metaphors to sell products. These metaphors create a sense of novelty and difference, but ultimately serve to maintain the status quo. Beyond binary oppositions, a nuanced view of vulnerability. Instead of viewing metonymy and metaphor as inherently vulnerable or resistant to capitalist capture, a Deleuzian perspective encourages us to move beyond binary oppositions. Both figures, in their own ways, offer opportunities for creative potential and escape from fixed identities. However, both can also be co-opted by capitalist forces, manipulating the surplus of meaning for their own ends. The key lies in recognizing the inherent ambiguity and dynamism of both cognitive models. We must remain vigilant, critically analyzing the ways in which language is used, be it through metonymic substitution or metaphorical connection. Only then can we be creative and posit genuine liberation and resist the seductive traps of capitalist capture. By Tezozomak, copyright 2024-0221.